Well, hi, everybody. This is Silvio Canto in Dallas, Texas on Friday, January the 4th, and welcome to our video commentary. Well, you may have seen this rather remarkable press conference by President Trump today. I don't know if it was intended to be a news conference. I think it was just, he was just going to make a statement, but it turned into a press conference. It went on for about an hour, and I had a chance to see much of it. I mean, I thought President Trump was very much on top of the game, very much in control of the situation. I thought it was one of his better performances. He ought to do this, frankly, more often because I thought it came out very well. But I think he's on the right track, and I think he's going to win this debate over the shutdown, over the border wall funding. I think he's going to win this, and he's going to win it for a couple of reasons. Number one, more and more, I mean, the news coming out of the border, the news coming out of the border is just absolutely amazing. You know, just a few days ago, some people were trying to rush into San Diego. You hear about drugs coming in. All of this constant and almost daily reporting of what's happening on the border, I think makes the argument or helps those of us who believe that you have to have a border and you have to have tougher border security. So I think the events, the news events, are actually working to help the president. The second reason why I think he's going to win is that there are 31 members of this new Congress, 31 members who were elected in districts that President Trump won in 2016. These districts are more conservative. They don't tend to fall into the kind of left-wing ideology and ideas that much of the Democrat Party is supporting now. And these congressmen, these congresswomen who represent these districts, most of them were elected by less than 2 points. I mean, they were very competitive elections, and they will be very competitive re-elections in 2020. And many of these members are perfect for the president to contact and try to make a deal with respect to border security. You know, I have a post coming out on Saturday morning where I argue that the president ought to get together almost one by one on a group with many of these members of Congress and bring him in and say, look, this is why I believe what I'm doing. This is why I'm doing what I'm doing. And in many ways, he could borrow a page from the Lincoln playbook. Those of you who remember that movie that came out a few years ago, I should say, about President Lincoln and the 13th Amendment and how Lincoln negotiated with so many members of Congress to make sure he got their votes. And he would get together with them and say, look, what can I do for you? What do I need to do to earn your vote? And he would negotiate with many of them, and that was the way we got the 13th Amendment passed. The 13th Amendment, of course, abolished slavery in the United States. So he needs to borrow a page from Lincoln in that respect. And he really needs to go after these 31 members of Congress from these districts because they're all going to be in a very tough re-election in 2020. And I guarantee you that border security is going to be a major issue in those districts over the next few months. So I think the president is going to win this. Obviously, he's got to play his cards correctly. And so far, I think he is. And he's going to win this again, number one, because the news coming out of the border is frankly not good for people who don't think we need a border wall. And number two, because of these 31 members of Congress who I think are very vulnerable for re-election in 2020. Well, thank you for watching. We have all of these on YouTube, we have them on my blog, and we have them on Twitter. And if January the 4th is your birthday, happy birthday. Bye-bye, everybody.